the defense of Canada won the game. The entire team was built to defend. "You are Canadian heroes," said J.C. Marsch, the American manager of Canada, to the players whom he gathered immediately after the victory 1-0 versus South Africa. Now, in fact, he is an American hero for Canada. J.C. Marsch drew the lessons from the match against Switzerland, where Canada lost in Vancouver 2-1. Canada cannot play with two forwards, especially if Kyle Larin is playing. He's quite a static player in the box. But J.C. Marsch learned the lesson that you must defend in 10 people plus the goalkeeper. So Canada today cannot afford itself to have two forwards. Just because it lost its best midfielder, and Davis is not exactly 100% now. Their main player, main source of offensive football, even if he's a defender. Now, the three players that played up front in the 96 minutes, David and Oluwaseyi, who played on the left, and Jonathan David, who played in the center right. We know that Jonathan David is not a great scorer. We saw it in Juventus for the entire season. But he is a great worker. So if you look at statistics, you see how much of a pitch he covered. Enormous territory. Same thing said about David and Oluwaseyi. He covered the left flank, but he also covered the center. He came back to help the defense. He came back to help the midfield. It was a very mobile team. It was a defensive team. He played defensive football because he knew that South Africa is quick and rapid. Well, more rapid than quick. You know, like a rapid train and a quick brain. So South Africa was more rapid, but not that quick. The defense of Canada won the game. The entire team was built to defend. And they defended. They won 75% of the tackles in defense, whereas South Africa 61. I mean, it's quite a difference. And that way Canada can get a result. Don't expect Canada to play in attack. It's not their game. They're too weak. The game itself, I mean, it was pleasant to watch certain moments. It was boring to watch other moments. It wasn't a great game. But it was the round of 32. And now Canada is among the 16 best teams in the world for 4 years. So you can say you are heroes of Canada, but I think that he is the American hero of Canada. Now, as far as South Africa is concerned, I don't want any excuses because they had less time to rest. They had much more travel in those few days between the two games. They played in the third round of their groups. But no excuses. I think that Hugo Broos did not tactically change anything from a game that they won against South Korea unexpectedly and maybe even undeserved. But this is not the point. In the World Cup, usually, traditionally, the manager, general manager, the coach, plays a very, very important role. because he's the one who tells the team, not always in words, very often in lineups, what game are we going to play? We're going to give everything we have and we're going to defend. Above all, we'll not concede a goal. We'll try not to concede a goal. Basically, probably I would have said exactly the same thing if South Africa would have won 1-0. That also was possible, but it didn't happen. And I don't believe that in football things happen just, out of thin air. They happen because there is a logic to it. Canada played a defensive game. It scored on a 92nd minute. Today, let's say, it's a minute before the end, plus added time. I'm saying today because 3 minutes hydration break. So then Stefan Eustachio scored. He scored about 18 meters from the net, outside the box. He had absolutely open space in front of him. There was no one on him, and he hit the ball with the right foot, and it went in, and that's it. And here the game was decided. So Canadians are heroes, and Jesse Marsch is a Canadian hero. Well, next game is against the winner, Netherlands-Morocco. I don't think you need my opinion how it's going to end, because I think it's evident.